Hello, everyone, and welcome to the HSC Experience podcast, the show where we explore all the components of the Hoover Senior Center. My name is Mariana. I'm your host, the Hoover Senior Center intern, and our guest today is Miss San Thompson. San teaches Zumba Gold and Fit Dance Fusion at the center. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Yay! Okay, well, I'm so excited to have you.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll start off. Introduce yourself and tell us how long you've been teaching Zumba and how you got into it.
Okay, yeah, I'm San Thompson. I am from Selma, Alabama. I am retired from the Army. I did 24 years, 6 months and 17 days in the Army, and retired in 2013. I have been teaching fitness classes for about 20 plus years. I don't really want to tell my whole age because, you know, a lot of people think I look young. I want to keep it that way. So, and that's what I love about fitness. It does help you to stay young and fit and healthy. And so Zumba in particular, I've been teaching since 2010.
Wow.
I got into Zumba while I was in breast cancer treatment. So I'm also a breast cancer survivor.
Wow, I didn't know
and
that.
I have been in remission for 10 years now.
Wow.
So, yeah, I was going through breast cancer treatment. I had initially, I had chemo, and then they did the surgery. Although the standard practice, I believe, is to do the surgery first and then chemo. But apparently I had an aggressive tumor that was estrogen positive. So they wanted to reduce the size of the tumor first before going in for surgery. So Zumba was a way for me to escape from what I was dealing with. And although you would think someone having had surgery wouldn't be in a Zumba class, but it was my way of gauging how well I was healing. And it was an opportunity for me to feel better afterwards. So you can go and lay down and get some rest, and you know, that's what they want you to do.
Right.
And so doing that and looking at my scars, I didn't see that I was healing that quickly. And I thought, well, it's going to take some time anyways, because the doctor says it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And I said, okay. And so, again, I was on active duty at the time. So there is fitness facility on the Army post. And so I looked and said, I've got to do some other activity. They have this Zumba class, so I'm going to go. And I would go to the Zumba class, and the beauty with Zumba is you can go at your own pace. And although the instructor may have higher intensity, may have some very active moves, you can just glide along. You can just stand there and march in place. There's no rigorous regiment to it. You know, it's very free-flowing. And that's what I loved about it. And then the music, a lot of the music was music I had never heard before. And all the different instruments was just allowing me to feel like I was in another country. Feel like I was in different countries within that hour. Like I was just traveling in my mind. It just felt so soothing, very therapeutic. And so that's how I got into Zumba. And a few months into going to the class every week, the instructor didn't show up one day, which is, it's likely on a military installation because you'll get stationed somewhere else at the drop of a hat. And then someone else will have to take over whatever you were doing. So it was very odd. But it was an advantage for me because I had been going for a little while.
So
I had picked up some of the moves, and I had been a fitness instructor anyways. I just wasn't teaching Zumba. And because I was going through treatment for breast cancer, I wasn't sure how much I could do, but I knew I could lead a crowd. So I started teaching at the fitness center on the military installation at the Army post. It's actually called Gaffney Fitness Center, Fort Meade, Maryland. And that was where I started teaching Zumba. From there, I taught at several other facilities. LA Fitness, a place called, there was a Gold's Gym. And there was another place called Sport Fit. And I taught there in the Maryland area. And then I was in between surgeries. So I had a lumpectomy, a mastectomy, and then I had to have reconstructive surgery. And I had radiation, so I had to wait a few months before having another surgery after radiation because of the skin continuing to heal after the radiation treatment stopped. So I submitted a request for a hardship transfer from Maryland back to my home of record in Alabama, and that's how I ended up here. And then I retired from here. So, yeah, it's been a really long journey, but it's been a very adventurous one, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect that with, treatment and fitness, but that's a very unique combination.
Yeah.
And I think it worked very well for me. I've been tremendously blessed, so I know everyone doesn't have all the cards falling in place.
Right.
But for me, I felt like going through that, already being a fitness instructor, becoming a Zumba instructor, it was an opportunity for me to have a platform, to be an advocate for women's health, and to promote it, and to practice what I preach.
Yeah.
Be the example that people want to see. So that's what kept me into it. So I want to teach it as long as I can, and not just Zumba, but I teach other fitness formats as well.
Yeah, and I love how positive you are. I know you've
Thank you.
been through a lot,
I
and
have, yeah.
you're very strong and very courageous.
Thank
and
you.
If you've ever taken a class of Sands, you know that she says after every class to release positive energy into the atmosphere.
I do. Thank you.
And I absolutely love that, and that is such a testament to who you are.
Thank
and
you.
everything that you've been through, and you're just a light, a shining light. And
thank you.
we are so blessed and grateful to have you here at the center teaching.
I'm grateful to be here, to have this opportunity.
So I guess I'll lead into the next question as to what led you to teach here.
Well, I owned my own studio, and I still do, but now it's a private studio. But at the time, it was a public studio in Alabaster, actually in Weatherly, called Studio Vive. And several people would visit and dance with me, and it was a thriving little spot in the evenings. I taught very few morning classes, and several people from the senior center would come there to dance with me at my studio.
Oh, wow.
And Miss Jen Eubanks, who is a member here, she contacted me when the previous instructor left, and she said, well, San, we want you to teach, and there's no pressure, but we're not going to ask anybody else if you don't.
Aww.
So I couldn't say, how could you say no?
Right.
I couldn't say no.
Right.
So I started coming here, and I just loved it. I fell in love with the atmosphere here because everyone is very active and fierce, like into fitness. I've taught at some other facilities where that's not the case. People are really just merely trying to make it.
Yeah.
And I guess it's stereotypical when people hear senior center. They're not particularly drawn to it. Even if they are a senior, they try to run from it. And I just love how the energy here doesn't create that stereotype. It doesn't feed into that
our members
stereotype.
are very
active.
active. Yes.
And some of them impress me so much every class because I'm like, I'm teaching Zumba and other classes at other facilities, and sometimes the younger ones are just stopping and looking at me, and I'm like, really? It's not that difficult. I mean, and that's a beauty in Zumba as well. Most of the moves are very simple and just put together in choreography that's uplifting and motivating, but it's nothing really too complicated. And if it is, it's probably something that could be watered down to make everyone feel successful, and that is my goal.
Right, that's what I love
in
too.
every class. Is I want everybody to feel successful. I don't want anybody to feel like, oh, I can't do that. It's too difficult. It's too many moves. It's too much jumping or whatever. So
yeah, I've always loved that about Zumba. I have done quite a few Zumba classes in my days. I love it. But I've always loved how you're able to modify based on skill level.
Exactly.
And it just really makes everybody feel included. I don't think I've ever been to a class where you felt judged or looked down upon. Everybody's just there to have a good time, and that's very evident here. And everybody's just a big, happy family, Zumba family. So
yes. Literally, Zumba is happy hour.
Yes, yes.
So if you're not happy, something's not going well. And I tell everyone in my other fitness classes, I think I said it a couple of times here, but I said, if you're not smiling, if you're not having fun, you have to leave.
Yeah.
I'm really kidding, but they tend to get a laugh out of it when I say that, because they're typically gonna smile anyway. And I figure if you're not having fun and you're still here, then you're fooling yourself. You really are having fun. You just don't want other people to know.
Right. Like if you're not here to have fun, then you gotta be. I'm just kidding. No, I'm joking. But no, it's true. Like I feel like it's a way for our members to just come and have fun and get away from, all the busyness of the day-to-day and just something fun to do Mondays and Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So, it's just great. I just love that we had this opportunity here for our members.
Yeah, I do too.
So, tell us some of the importance for seniors to be involved in fitness classes and some of the health benefits.
So, a lot of the health benefits are, well, I'm going to say the main ones that I focus on and I think are very critical, particularly in a senior center, helping you to retain your memory.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that dancing helps you with your memory because you're inclined to try to memorize the choreography. And even if you don't memorize it, it's familiar. And so it helps with memory, not just for the class, but in everyday life. That's one really key factor for seniors.
Wow.
And then another one is, I was talking about that fountain of youth earlier.
Yes.
Helps you to stay young because you're exercising your heart.
Yeah.
So when you get your heart rate up, your heart is working to pump blood faster. So as you exercise your heart, when you're resting, your heart doesn't have to work as fast to pump blood. So a lot of people have the reduced blood pressure.
Wow.
A lot of people reduce their cholesterol level from exercise. And dancing in particular is so fluid that it allows you to receive all these health benefits without really feeling like you're working out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an all-in-one package, guys. It's an all-in-one package. Yeah. You get all these benefits and have fun at the same time.
Absolutely. I have a lot of students that have told me that they were on particular medications, and after taking my classes for several months, they were either able to reduce the amount of medication they have to take, reduce their dosage, or stop taking it altogether. Like the doctors would tell them, you no longer need it, because they've improved their health inside their body just by coming to class and dancing, exercising their heart, exercising their lungs, and I typically will have people say things like, say hey, or say yeah, or scream, and I do those those things in class, and people say, I'm trying to breathe, and I said, if you say something, it's gonna force you to breathe.
Right.
So then they say, oh, the little light bulb goes off. It's like, yeah, it's a tricky way to get you to force you to breathe.
Sneaky.
But it's all in love.
Yes.
Zumba love.
Zumba love it. So, I guess my next question would be, you teach Zumba and Fit Dance Fusion here. What's the difference between the two?
So Zumba is copyright. So there are particular guidelines that we should use when we're teaching a Zumba class. The main one is 70% of our playlists should be international music, Latin rhythms in particular. And then the other 30% can be whatever you choose. I never go by that rule because typically, in a good way, typically my entire playlist will be international music because I like the idea of having my students feel like they need to bring their passport to class. because
Yeah.
we're going to go to Brazil, we're going to go to Mexico, we're going to go to Africa.
Yeah.
We're going to travel. So
I love that.
And the music is going to lead us there.
Mm-hmm.
So I really feel like for a Zumba class, there's no need to play American radio music because you hear that when you get in your car and turn on the radio. But coming to a Zumba class, you want to experience different genres and you want to get a different feel for that happy hour that you're experiencing. So that's mainly what I do. So with Zumba, it's mostly international music. And then with Fit Dance Fusion, it's the opposite. So I try not to use any Latin music in my Fit Dance Fusion. And most of the Fit Dance Fusion is we're dancing, but it's fitness moves.
Yeah.
And so I want you to feel like you're getting stronger. Mm-hmm. And I want you to feel like you're more motivated to do things you wouldn't typically do. And some of the choreography is things that would incorporate everyday life movement, where we're using our arms reaching up, which is what you would do to reach up into the cabinet to get, your dishes or your food mm-hmm. to prepare a meal. So, or squats where, actually demi squats is what we do mm-hmm. here. So I never do full squats with seniors because we have to take in mind someone may have had a particular surgical procedure, mm-hmm. hip replacement, knee replacement, what have you, and they may not be able to do those movements. Although that may be the case, the choreography is created so that even if that is your concern, you're still able to do the movement. So right. all that is taken into consideration. So with Zumba and with Fit Dance Fusion, there is a lot of thought that goes into my choreography in terms of safety first.
Yes, I love that.
Yes.
Especially at a facility like this, it's very important to be mindful.
Yes.
And you just do a great job.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much. Let's close out. Let's go ahead. Tell me your favorite song right now for our playlist.
Well, my favorite one that's popping to the top of my mind right now is Better When I'm Dancing.
Oh, I love it.
By Megan Trainor.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love the chorus part where it's just la da 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 la
yeah.
da 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 la da da da. So it's just a happy, feel-good song, and I truly love it.
Love that. I will definitely add it. I guess we'll close. Share your favorite fitness tip.
Favorite fitness tip is safety first,
mm-hmm.
and always maintain positivity. So, as you stated earlier, at the end of every class, I always allow you to relax out of whatever last final stretch we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I say release positive energy into the atmosphere because I want it to be a conscious effort.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people are not aware that the energy around them is really important.
Right.
Sometimes people don't pay attention to the energy around them. And so I want to bring your attention to that and then allow you to feel like you're emitting positive energy and contributing to
right.
the positivity in the atmosphere. So that would be it for me.
Yay! Okay, guys. That was San. I really enjoyed getting to know her better, and I hope you've enjoyed this next episode of the HSC Experience. I'll see y'all next time.
Thank you.